Holler if you hear me. Welcome out there to everyone. This is Monday night in my corner of YouTube land. Everyone who's been coming around and is in the know, hello to everyone out there and say hello back in the chat. And for those who are not in the know and are coming around for the first time, well, then also say hello in the chat and stick around and subscribe. For the next hour, we're all going to be here together as I draw this little lady here, one of my new freaks here to put in my collection of my lovely ladies that I put here in the stream and then I put in my online store. What they are is we got one here that yesterday I saw the headlines about how the actress who played Sheena way back in the 1980s, Miss Tanya Roberts, had supposedly died. And then it turns out only just a few hours ago, like around 6, when I started preparing the stream, it turns out, no, now her representation says that no, she's not really dead, that she's just in the hospital. And whatever really is going on, I still haven't seen any updates on that. I've seen my local news did some report about what's going about that explained her representation saying that this is false and that it's not really happening, but I still, one way or the other, whatever it's the hospital she came into, or if it's just a talk from people that were misunderstanding what's going on. I don't know either way, but either way, I thought it was a good time to go ahead and transition into going. I've been doing science fiction related ladies for the last few weeks now, and I thought, here's one. We've got an Ola from Valencia La de los Videos XD. Hello there, I'm assuming Miss. Hello there, Senorita Florencia. Stick around here. If you are a new viewer, then please stick around and subscribe. We'll be drawing this beautiful lady right here for the next upcoming hour. And if you can hear me clearly, then respond again in the chat with a good hola there, because we've got this going on, and we'll be continuing in here. I also have some new things to demonstrate of some things that came in. These were things that I got myself off Amazon on account of what my stimulus money that came in that isn't going towards bills. I'm going towards a few things to upgrade the scene here on my part of YouTube land. I got myself a new lamp right here. I will demonstrate. This one, though, has to be plugged in at all times from what I see. And this one, though, the reason why I replaced it is because, see the flexible neck of it right here? Well, the one I had before were a pair of these, except one of them, the cord here broke, so it just started dangling like it had a broken neck, like that footage you saw of the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios Hollywood, where none of the dinosaur animatronics were working, and they had the Brontosaurus was just there, and it looked like it was leaning down, like it was about to block the way of the raft tram that everybody was going in on the ride. So I just simply throw that away. And now the next one I'm doing is now I got one of these, and it has that kind of ring that's like the ring you see those professional lights that makeup effects people use. So I wonder if whether or not this one, just having one of these, will be strong enough to have just it being the overhead light I'll use for the lighting in my videos from now on. Tomorrow's time-lapse video that I will be filming, I will be using this one light, and I'll be testing to see if it works, so that the lighting used for my uploads will be produced by this piece from then on. I certainly hope so. And also, something else that came in that was my work is you see some pellets here and some more pellets here, and they go with this slingshot here. Really nice, like quality, professional-looking wooden slingshot that you, this grip, you hold it like this, and you set outward. And this grip actually comes with several and pairs of different length band. These are simply rubber bands, and there's the little strap that you put little pellet in. Also, I was recommended that the bag of marbles I got for Christmas, I could also use these as projectiles. But if you want to see, I've got two different brands, two different lengths and of two different colors. We have the green and we have yellow bands here. This is the second one of those bands here, and this one is about, they measured these in the inches. I can't remember exactly what the inches were on this one, but then the other two I'm not using these, as you can tell, if we just put them side by side to compare the length. It's not just a matter of length, it's also a matter of thickness. Really, it's the thickness of the one band or the other that really is where it comes from, since you can tell that the length that they're measured in is by the not how really long the bands are, but how thick they are. You see here, the ones in green like this are much, much stronger. Look much stronger. You can see it as I'm holding it as directly sideways as possible. And then compare that to this one here, which is up a bit more papery. I can't really hold it straight. There, can hold it straight. And there you see. So that's why I put in the thicker band in there. And the Slingshot itself, it came with these straps, but no instructions. So I had to actually go back on Amazon to look this up and figure out how this works. And the way you put the band in, I thought it was looping it through these holes here. It's not that way. It's by, see these little here, you loosen these and then you push them forward and they stick out, and then that's when you slide in. You see that little strap there where the teeth are gripped in? That's what they are, from this and this. And then you put those in, you put these in here, and then you tighten these bolts back up. And that's when you go and launch away. And this came with this little bag of pellets, and I believe these are made of wood. These pellets here for my Slingshot. They feel to be about wood, but they kind of look like a smaller version of what's it called? A Whopper balls, those chocolate balls. Yeah, they really do look like that, or maybe Cocoa Pebbles, like smaller Cocoa Pebbles or smaller Whopper balls. But these are very, very smooth, very immaculately carved. I'm assuming that they're, I would say, more Whopper. And the other one is a brand of Slingshot ammunition. These are like steel balls that are Daisy. Daisy is a brand of BB gun. They're a BB gun manufacturer, and this is one specifically ammunition for slingshots, not for BB guns. 250 count here. They're 1/4 inch premium steel shots, as you see right here, go together. There's 250 of them in there. And what exactly is this all for? These pellets, these steel pellets, these wood pellets, and the Slingshot with the different straps are for? Well, since I talked before about the big idea of doing caricatures of Ohio State figures or of Ohio State merchandise and using them for target practice and doing those as videos, like doing videos of caricatures of Ohio State, athletes or coaches, and then using them for target practice. Well, this right here, I would use. I decided to go and use what was left of my stimulus money on just getting a simple Slingshot like this with ammunition instead of going in and just waiting around for somebody to. I still have that BB gun on my Amazon wish list, but the BB I picked out there is $97, and this was a cool 15, and this ammunition box here was 5. So I decided to simply, since today you saw that I did an upload of another piece of coffee sleeve art. I'll bring it right here on account of what I've been reading lately, which is, of course, well, 2 of them are 2 big comic book collections. One is the first 19 issues of The Complete Witchblade, the comic that launched Michael Turner's career. You see this, a few issues into this one. So because of my Witchblade viewing, I decided to go and draw nice Witchblade here, nude except for some slim panties visible there, and of course the titular Witchblade there. And I remembered on the back to do the logo, best approximation of the logo by freehand. You see there, the logo comparison. Of course, there it's not as quite the same because they have that nice fancy digital coloring font where they can do all sorts of things like the shift from dark to light that goes up. And there is your lady. That's what she looks like in this page here. And there. And I saw that now there's a Kickstarter for doing a new Witchblade comic where they have these, twee Cal Arts looking, everything is problematic and sexist type of ladies writing and drawing it. So yeah, count me out of the new Witchblade. I'll stick to the real McCoy here that was done by, creators with real talent and interest in actually making comics, not in, whining about women that are better looking than them. Hence that Cosmopolitan cover. I don't know if you've seen this online. I saw it circulating. Cosmopolitan magazine has a new issue now with a morbidly obese woman trying to do a yoga pose that says this is healthy. No, it isn't. And I actually made multiple responses to that on Twitter that mentioned Cosmopolitan himself. And I encourage you out there to go, if you have Twitter accounts, go them and directly tweet or tweet at Cosmopolitan, member to at Cosmopolitan right there, and tell them that no, this isn't, that you're just, fitting, this is just insane, batshit crazy, super woke propaganda that is that I even, one of them I directly said, is diabetes healthy? Anybody can be fat. Looking like this takes effort. And then I showed under them pictures of a fitness model in a Supergirl shirt. Another one was of the actress Linda Harrison in her bikini cave girl outfit from the original Planet of the Apes. And also that one famous picture of Megan Fox in Transformers, where she's got the belly shirt on hanging over the hood of the car. Or that one insufferable smartass video that I think it was like Vox did on YouTube of like sarcastically insulting people who want to be healthy and being shaped. Like, take on a grueling exercise regime that alters your body's natural shape. It's no one's natural shape to be fat, you fucking idiot. And I hope you choke on your goddamn Twinkie for saying that, you pathetic waste of life. That's and remember to say as such, run to social media to Cosmopolitan and tell them that. And if not that, then at the very least, go out and you can email them. And if there's any doctors out there watching what I'm doing, then track down the contact information where you can send an email out there to those assholes glamorizing obesity at Cosmopolitan and tell them no, tell them you're wrong, tell them you're outright dangerous, that you're endangering people's lives. And that little elephant in the room that nobody wants to say with all this lockdown talk, that yes, being morbidly obese also is far more statistically likely to kill you if you catch COVID. So yeah, think about that too. Not to mention, you're far more likely to contract diabetes, and also the why heart disease is such a massive killer in America, like it's not in other first world countries, and how none of these health experts ever want to bring up, maybe reducing your diet or changing your diet so you don't look like Lena Dunham might be better off for you than making yourself look more like Lena Dunham while screaming about it. The fault is not you, it's the patriarchy and Margot Robbie and hot pants and comic book movies. No, it isn't. It's your fat dumbass. There's a reason there's a video right here on YouTube you can find of doing an autopsy on somebody who is morbidly obese and taking out their organs, and they have a stomach that's twice the size of that stomach you see from the fat man who was force-fed to death in Seven, the one who represented gluttony. Then again, with all the churches closed down, I guess they don't have church to go to tell them out, their morbid obesity is a sin. And so is their, their pride in the fat pride. I see we've got Third Man out in the stream here talking. Let's see what his while early slingshots were most associated with young vandals, they were also capable of hunting arms in the hands of a skilled user. Well, I've seen that, and that's why the last time I had a slingshot, I bought one at a Dick's Sporting Goods, and it was right there a few aisles away. It was in the same aisles with BB guns and not too far away from like hunting bow and arrows and crossbows and rifles and pistols. So I that's why, and this ad right here, the brand name is called Aim and Go, and this one here, the brand that of the power line here is Daisy. Daisy was a longtime brand of BB guns. Although most people who don't really know much about toy guns or guns in general, if they think BB gun like a brand, they think of A Christmas Story, and they think of that Red Ryder BB gun that Ralphie wanted for Christmas. We got another message from Thirdman that I actually had to go and approve of, where, oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It's so big. She looks like one of those rap guys' girlfriends, but who understands those rap guys? Yeah, it's don't celebrate Olympic athletes. Celebrate Ashley Graham. No, you're wrong. Celebrate the Olympic athlete. And I've got literally one more of these to do. So that's why come Monday, the third Monday of January, you'll be seeing the debut of a new series of drawing videos where I'll be doing caricatures. Either I will be doing caricatures of athletes of Ohio, of rival teams, such as, famous athletes and coaches of Ohio State, and be using them as caricature target practice with this little slingshot right here. Or you can always send me Ohio State paraphernalia, which I will gladly use to practice wrestling moves on, such as the Stone Cold Stunner, or the Sharpshooter, or the Scorpion Death Drop. For those wrestling fans out there in the streams, I know I have. And of course, little in the middle, but she's got much back, as a Relentless is saying when it comes to more talk about doing that. And we've got Thirdman doing LOL. And, not to mention, it's not just the second to none cheesecake artwork of Witchblade and of Fathom that I also have right here. Yes, Michael Turner, the late great Michael Turner, whose work I'm also looking at alongside J. Scott Campbell and Frank Cho and Adam Hughes to really solidify the content of Intrepids, my own comic that I'm developing. But on top of that, it's also actually the real storytelling and the story itself, because they're not trying to be, all galaxy brained about how they're going to reassess the whole concept of the superhero like Alan Moore before he firmly started disappearing his own head up his own ass, or, with Grant Morrison not too far behind in certain contexts. But on top of that, these guys like Turner and J. Scott Campbell are also really skilled at just telling a damn good, exciting story, a good, interesting, exciting story that has, the ups and downs of the great, adventure that you want to see or in here you want to read. And on top of it, it's full of fantastic pages and work of artistry like this down here. Yes, and being in shape is important. There's no doubt about it. Says Thirdman out. We haven't seen him in a stream here in a while, and it's glad to see him back. Glad to see him talking again. There's or great piece like this with nicely rendered space shuttle right there, and we'll compare to the shuttle model I've got right here that includes the fuel tank and the solid rocket boosters right here, except the shuttle fell out of place. Compared to about there to in the page, we'll do that way. About right, about rock solid right there. That's why it's not just everything you draw in the page has to look immaculate. It has to look great. Like this gorgeous spread right here. That's just amazing. Another message held from review, but this one's from Mildred. It was dudes, I'm 56 and I will put you through a workout that will make you puke and cry for your mommy. USMC. That's United States Marine Corps she's referring to. Yes, I actually owned the soundtrack to the movie Full Metal Jacket. It was a mix of the film's score and also pop songs that were used in the film. But the opening track was like a hip hop remix that the director's daughter made of using Arlie Ermey's jogging chants when they're talking. The scenes where they show them basing training in Paris Island, and you got Arlie Ermey, doing the I don't know, but I've been told, and Eskimo pussy is mighty cold. They used those chants, those marching chants he's doing, and they did like a hip hop remix of it. And I'd recommend picking up, if you can find it, track it online and hear that clip and just have that playing on a loop. And are you telling me you cannot do a single pull up? Yeah, have them go to those people that were involved in that, This Is Healthy Fat People Cosmopolitan cover, and have him just go up and go, grabastic paces of amphibian shit. It's rock solid. It's very important to stay in shape no matter what age you are at. I don't believe in fat shaming, but I also don't believe in enabling either, which, is yes, that's enabling perfectly avoidable death. There's I have joked I joked before about certain things like whether it's COVID, whether it's whether it's flu season for the flu, the influenza has caused more easily avoidable deaths than the fat positivity movement. And now we're reaching critical mass with the not just the This Is Healthy Cosmopolitan cover, but also the outright anger that's celebrated towards women in CrossFit and calling it a cult, or the women who are actually healthy and attractive in superhero movies that are wearing low-cut outfits or shaking it in hot pants, and we all know that's why their characters are popular and why they went to go see them. And if not, then why is it that Birds of Prey went and failed so miserably at the box office? I tell you why. Or screaming about Gal Gadot, who runway model look, whatever, but she was a damn Israeli army veteran, and they're screaming at her. But no, it's Rebel Wilson who's great. Even though now all the talk that fans of hers and herself talking about how I'm not going to try to fit this body standard. Then why did she go and why did she drop 100 pounds recently? And Mr. High and Mighty, no fat shaming James Corden now is ringing in the new year by being a spokesman for Weight Watchers. Yeah, maybe Bill Maher was onto something there. I'm Thirdman out. He just wants everybody to be clear. He's not into fat enabling or gluttony for short. Yes, it's maybe that's why so many of those crazy caterwauling feminist types that want are all into the modern Marxist thing. They're also morbidly obese because they don't like the church and they don't like that gluttony being a sin. That religion's the patriarchy that doesn't want them to be that wants them to look like Kate Upton. Ah, shut up, bitch! Take your hands off the Haagen-Dazs. Damn straight, Skippy, says Mildred. Yes. We did Relentless has an APB out on Richie Rich Nick and on Christopher, as she's a Nick as everyone else calls him. There's yes. It's not just Eskimo pussy that's mighty cold. It's the pussies of the morbidly obese ladies that scream about fat pride, or that one crazy Mohawk girl that was shaking her fist up and screaming about about what was it that I know about feminism and about obesity is great. And there's the lady that was the girl in the front row of that college lecture that was filming her and looked into the camera like this lady's a fucking nut because she was a fucking nut. Yes. And we've got a resounding yes from Christopher. Or as Kane would put it to the when it comes to the fat positivity movement, in the words of the former Kane, the Big Red Machine, and current mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, Glenn Jacobs, suck it. And also, Thirdman wants to thank me for saying his message out loud. And Mildred says she would snap Wonder Woman like a twig. Well, she was in the Israeli army, so I'm pretty sure that maybe you in the Marine Corps, yes, but any of those actresses that want to get, all those actresses they celebrate with their all agenda, no talent, those Brie Larson, Tessa Thompson types, they try to roll up on Miss former Israeli army, and Gal Gadot could break them. All of those that were lined up and we were all supposed to cheer for, like trained SEALs worshiping the squad in Avengers Endgame, from Gwyneth Paltrow to Natalie Portman to Brie Larson, all getting lined up in that one big shot in Avengers Endgame. Gal Gadot could break all of them. She could. I must break you. Oh, get up me. God, clap my guy. Oh, God, stop it. No, not stopping. No, clap my guy. Israeli Kaladi. Alas, hiya and more. Hiya, two big crazy bitches. So, Luke, what do you think of skateboarding artwork, and what does your audience think of that? I'm just wondering. Skateboarding artwork, well, I've never done anything for skateboards. That's like a field of work or whatever that I've never done. I've never done any skateboard artwork, and I actually own a skateboard, but it's already got printed stuff on it. So. Here's one. From Relentless. Wonder Woman would lift her top to try and distract you, like in Long Kiss Goodnight. Oh yeah, that Gina Davis movie. All those crazy Tessa Thompson, Brie Larson, Natalie Portman, no talents would go up to her and she just yank her top and then twist something. Relentless says that her skateboard here in Venice, California, has art customized. Says Mildred. My skateboard here in Venice, California, is art customized. What's that? Okay, well, all that talk. Let's get to rendering here, Miss Sheena, as we go on. But I'm serious about that. Notify your congressman. Go and contact information on the Cosmopolitan website. And directly tweet at them if you can. That no, you're wrong. This is not healthy. This is outright dangerous. This is dangerous, insane propaganda. I don't care if there are women in major cities with women's studies degrees that feel insecure about Gal Gadot or Kate Upton and Nina Agdal's old Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover photos. This isn't healthy. You're just glamorizing and enabling delusional narcissism. But that would be if on top of that, also, that it's not like we're simply those coffee sleeves I've been drawing, they came free with a package of styrofoam cups I was drinking from, and the doing a skateboard, you can't really like mass buy skateboards to do artwork on them. Those things where I think like the cheapest one you can get is like a good one that's with wood that you can really paint on the bottom is a good like maybe $40 at least, like a minimum. Like I've gone to the sections there at like my local Meijer and Target where they have skateboards and they have bicycles and everything, and you might get a good at a steal $49.99. I'd say, and that one. Here's a. I told many actresses to their face, says Mildred, honey, you say your booty is PHAT? No, it's just fat, including you, Kim Kardashian. It was here's one Thirdman out says, James G, that outfit from Cats. Yeah, that's nightmare fuel. You mean James Corden? Are you referring to Thirdman? Was that? There's the. I was more frightened by the thought of Taylor Swift acting than I was about anything else in the movie. Honestly. And yes, that's one of the more underrated punchlines from the great Ricky Gervais Golden Globes opening monologue. And we had the film Cats here. No, Cats came out. Oh, what a stretch. James Corden is a fat pussy. Was that it's like that's all those types of ladies have to say, and they want you to worship them and pay attention. To paraphrase the rapper Dead Mike from the film CB4, where he has a solo album that's just him saying "I'm black, y'all" over and over. It's just I'm fat, yo, and I'm fat, yo, and I'm fat, yo, and I'm fat, yo. Except you wouldn't be able to hear them clearly, unlike Dead Mike, because they would be saying that I'm fat, yo, over and over through boxes of Twinkies and ring dings. Yeah. Here's one. Mildred says, my skateboard has Catwoman USMC logos. Okay, cool. That's cool, Mildred, says Relentless. And Christopher says, JT over. All right. There's the. I found somebody privied me to a country music song recently. The title of the song is an abbreviation of what the actual title of the song is, but of course, because the song title, if it was written honestly, would be politically incorrect. It's ILBT. The song is I Like Big Tits. Yes. And some of the lyrics include like I like tits for dinner, I like tits for lunch, a big tit attack. Here comes some tits. That's a Big 10-4. I like big tits. Yes, look that song up. It's the song that made me like country music. I don't know, man. Here's one. Thirdman says about skateboard art. I don't know, man. I guess I just draw a cartoon character. Yeah, hot or something that women of age. Yeah, the fat positivity movement is an oxymoron, says Thirdman. Yeah, because they're completely miserable. Here's one. Relentless is asking, did everything come out okay, Christopher? Yes, buckets, says Christopher. It looks Mildred says that her skateboard it looks amazing and very expensive. Well, I know the art scene down there in California is that's why now the art scene here is moving over here to the city where I am right now, because LA, New York are too damn expensive and too damn full of themselves. It's like you're much better off coming to literally any other like major city that's not so goddamn to one far end of the coast or another that eventually there's going to be devastating hurricane tidal waves crashing on the shores. You go out to Lake St. Clair, that's driving distance from where I am. Sometimes it gets the waters get a little rough on the jetty, and that's about it. And also the water gets a little cold around this time of year, because we had a big snow front during the winter during the what was going on Christmas Day, and then almost within like a day that winter snow disappeared. I don't. It just almost it disappeared. Like you should have done an episode of In Search of about it. Remember In Search of, that sort of proto unsolved mysteries that starred Leonard Nimoy in the 70s? In Search of, the Loch Ness monster and UFOs, all that sort of stuff. Yes. Captain, I do believe there is such a thing as the Loch Ness monster, and I believe that it is something that would be quite fascinating to see. But first, we would have to go to Scotland to find it. Yes, and hide my smokes. It's not nice to smoke. Here's one. Christopher is fresh, clean, and relaxed. And Relentless also is wondering if we all scared Vicky T off. Well, no, I don't think so. But also, we had a lady here, the first one to speak in the chat, Miss Florencia La de los Videos XD, was the first one to say hello, a simple hola, and we haven't seen her in the chat since then. I wonder if she's still around, because every new face, every new voice coming into the stream is accepted, because my channel isn't going to be able to grow to the point where I have the kind of audience that would justify making Intrepids in the first place for all of you out there to enjoy and for me to profit from. So, yes, the more people we got coming in, the better. Including that one guy who's Aware was the name of his channel, who when I was launching into my spiel against the Yankees, and he was the one time he came into the chat was to say, hey, dude, I'm a Yankees fan. And I said, well, okay, then good. If I want those. I'm not the type like that ginger doofus Kelly Sue DeConnick who's saying, if you don't agree with my politics, don't buy my books. Shut up, nitwit. I don't care if you like my politics or not. Do you like my comic? Okay. Remember, you're talking to a guy who has sold artwork to somebody who once did a illustration of the Punisher picketing the NRA, and yet at the same time I sold multiple pieces of artwork during a convention to a man in an NRA pullover. He gladly liked what he got, and then he actually became a repeat customer in later conventions. So I'm here to make money. It does not matter. That's not important to me. Here's one. But our weather here this week is going to be unseasonably warm. Relentless is bringing up. Yep. And besides that, we got Thirdman out saying, I mean, drying it on paper. Yeah. Like, how would you dry football players or something? Not directly trying on the skateboard. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's about right for a blank skateboard. $40. Got those lunatics who think that they're, it's the same thing with the fat positivity movement. They think that their narcissistic right to be morbidly obese somehow it is more important than anything else. And if somebody says that's wrong, or maybe you should not be so goddamn high and mighty and try to make yourself feel so special and so righteous in your obesity, somehow it's everyone else's fault, and it's passing the buck. It's a complete lack of personal responsibility. Lady, I hope that narcissism burger goes down well with the 5 Whopper burgers you've been munching on all day long. And that the rest of us are going to go off and actually try and actually live a goddamn life. And then you wonder why people are flocking as far away from your comics as they possibly can to crowdfund stuff about frogs with cybernetic shoulders. Yeah, James Corden. That's what I meant to say, Luke. Was Thirdman. Yeah, it's Corden, not Gordon. But I will say, years before he started irritating the late night talk show waves, I already found him irritating and disliked him when he guest starred on Doctor Who a couple times in the 11th Doctor's first year. Or my favorite part of his performance was when the Doctor headbutted him in the nose. If only he could have done further, like that reminded me of the movie Dirty Work with Chris Farley as his last film role. He's a guy who got his nose bit off by a Saigon whore, and there's a bar fight where it's Norm Macdonald and his buddy are fighting these frat boys, and Chris Farley screaming, bite him in the nose!" And then Norm Macdonald gets thrown at a plate glass window. It would have been, head butted him in the nose and just like threw him through a window. Note to self: do not annoy my co-stars. Yes. What else? Oh, looks we've got a brawl. Hell yeah! Rolling Stones, street fighting, man. G7. You just hit G8, and it plays if you like pina coladas. Bite him in the nose. Or how, it's the, or how when you look at this, it's the male gaze, it's the patriarchy. These fashion magazines, these women's lifestyle magazines, they're run by other women or gay men. Okay, it's to quote that's a joke. It's not really a joke. It's more of a statement that I read in J. Scott Campbell's book. I've got the time capsule about the J. Scott Campbell's first 10 years in comics. And in there's an interview section talking about where his influences on drawing women come from. And he talks about how the Playboys kind of look over like women in the runway models. He said, I remember a friend told me, this is something paraphrasing, where the women in the high fashion in like Vogue and in the runways, that's the gay man's idea of the attractive woman. Yeah, it's not the popcorn munching masses that shelled out $700+ million to look at Margot Robbie's ass in Hot Pants and Suicide Squad that are in charge of the fashion world. It's gay men and aging women in the fashion industry, the types who aged out of being on the runway, so they're now going to be in charge of the magazines, or the women who weren't good enough to be the big editorial runway models who then wind up working behind the scenes in those magazines, the Anna Wintour types. There's not a single just common sense, just guy walking around who still goes and shells out the money to see the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue that's in charge of those fashion companies. They're not the ones running Versace. They're not the ones running Vogue. They're not the ones, nodding along with the "This is Healthy" morbid obesity cover of Cosmopolitan. Okay. And Detroit rules as far as art scenes go, or at least I want to believe that, says Thirdman Out. Yes. And Nick is here in the chat. That's great. We were wondering what's been happening. Who's that? All right, now Christopher says, Christopher says, Nick was away having some private time. I don't think so. I know you're in Chicago and that Nick is all the way out in Ohio. And also, first thing, Saturday morning, I went and mailed out the birthday illustrations I did for the previously mentioned subscriber Vicky T. Yes, Miss Vicky, whose birthday wish for New Year's Day was an illustration of this. I'm guessing was an original character because I don't recognize him at all, that she requested for me to draw, which of course I did. I also did the color illustration. And also I want to give thanks to Nick in the chat, because Nick emailed me a couple days ago about how it was actually yesterday that I have a new set of Copic flesh tone Copic markers to be coming in. The regular kind, those kind are going to be coming in because he noticed that some of the women that I've been drawing lately in the color drawings I've been doing, he saw them on Twitter, where the flesh tones are looking more and more like I've been making them like caramel or like yellow, like The Simpsons, instead of they don't really look Caucasian. They look like people on The Simpsons. So he was sending me a new set of flesh tone Copic markers that are supposed to be coming in Friday, and I'll be looking forward to them. Nick, thank you. And they'd be like, you get to bend over and pick up your skateboard, and they'd be like, what? Says Relentless. Yes, I remember, and search up. Man, you're going to be a little before your time, my dude. It's just what... I guess at the other day, it's just what you make of the scene, too. Yeah. And Mildred says that's her reward for doing squats and lunges when she goes and bends over to get the skateboard. Nick's saying he's just a little less talkative because he just had a bad day. Well, all right, he knows that. As long as you're as long as you're here to show up here in the stream, if you've had a bad day, we're I myself and the rest of the stream, I'm definitely going to be here to lighten you up. I'm a sunbeam. I'm a ray of entertainment. There's a reason that the beer swelling, pissed off, Texas robotic redneck like Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin actually is able to get people to cheer and smile at the sound of shattering glass. And that's what I aspire to. There, to be there and to get everybody out there, get this crowd pumped up, to get this crowd sharp and ready for whatever I'm going to be doing when I'm in the ring and opening a can of whoop ass on everybody. And that's the bottom line. Why? Because Stone Cold said so. That's why I'm hoping Relentless does go and donate and mails out those that leftover Ohio State dog paraphernalia she was talking about. So my new set of Monday videos won't just be me doing caricatures that I'll practice with my slingshot on, but I can also have Ohio State props that I can use to practice wrestling moves with, such as the Stone Cold Stunner and the Frankensteiner and the Scorpion Death Drop and the Sharpshooter. And maybe even the Pedigree. Yes. Oh. And maybe some sweet chin music, a super kick like Shawn Michaels. This one. Christopher thinks, I just think that Nick needs some warm buns, especially his. Maybe. How do you know he's in the mood for buns tonight? Maybe he's in the mood for, I don't know, maybe. I think he said that he had some sake during the last year's New Year's Eve stream, did. The one where I was drawing Baby Yoda. Because I know what's profitable and what's not, and that Baby Yoda is practically a license to print money, along with Cara Dune. Ashoka, yes, Cara Dune and Ashoka, the characters that Miss Rosario, that Gina Carano and Rosario Dawson are doing. I don't say her Star Wars character. I just say with Rosario Dawson, it's Dawson 316. Yes. Yes, her character is amazing. And I just rewatched Sin City over the weekend, and yes, she's as amazing there as she was in Sin City on The Mandalorian. We should have expected her to be amazing. Yes. From an actress who got her start when she was 13, who was just cast sitting on a stoop in New York in this one movie called Kids, which I would recommend to see Kids, but watch at your own risk. It was a film that was extremely controversial back in the day for its depiction of underage drinking and drug addiction and underage sex and all this stuff. Yeah. And she was just like, the director decided to just cast actors that weren't actors. They were just kids he saw around New York City. And he saw her sitting on a stoop somewhere in Manhattan, and then offered her to be in his movie, and she took it up on it with the parents' approval. And her and another girl in the film that was just some random New York citizen plucked from obscurity to be in this movie also had a long time career. Chloe Sevigny, who was the secretary in American Psycho, as well as being one of the wives on that Bill Paxton polygamy show, Big Love. Yeah, they both got their start in that film. And I think they were the only ones who really stuck to acting afterwards, after being in that movie. Third Man Out says, I want to get back into doing some classic art and comics with an X. What I mean is your Bronze Age type artwork. I'm saying. Here's one. Relentless says, you should have seen how many PBs there were in the Delta Sky Clubs, Tampa and Detroit. Christopher would have loved it. And Nick says, my last Superman book will be there tomorrow. Those markers will be there Friday. Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm also expecting one more. The last trade in the Death of Superman story arc is going to be coming in tomorrow from Amazon, according to Nick, and I thank you for that. Yes, the third book of the 4 paperbacks that chronicle the whole death and return of Superman storyline. I've already got the death of... Nick sent me the Death of Superman and the Funeral for a Friend. Then there was the Return of Superman, and now the third and final one is the Reign of the Supermen, where we have the 4 different monthly Superman comics, each of them having their own reaction towards who would replace Superman, including my favorite incarnation of Superboy, the one from the 90s with the biker jacket, and the John Lennon sunglasses. There's also Steel, the one that, yes, that Steel, as in that was a character that was the basis for the Shaq movie in the 90s, Steel, with Shaq and Judd Nelson as the villain. I'm Shaq. I'm a superhero. I have a big hammer and a metal mask. I will defeat crime. I do not like crime. I hate crime almost as much as I hate Kobe. I do not like Kobe, and I do not like crime. I'm a crime fighter and a Kobe fighter. I'm Steel. Now, I want a good burger. I want tomatoes on my good burger. Yes, I have the hammer. If I had a hammer, I would fight crime, and I would stop Kobe. Remember, Kobe, you never pass me the ball. Pass me the ball, Kobe, or I'll slap you again. Yeah, it was I remember that James Corden being on Doctor Who, and I agree, he sucks, says Third Man Out. Yep. It was Tampa was loaded with PB, says Relentless, and Christopher finds that yummy. And Relentless was actually thinking about Christopher the whole time. Okay. And Christopher thanks Relentless, his fabulous feline, for saying that. And Relentless says he is most welcome. Keep up with this. If Relentless keeps up with this, Christopher is going to be going off to have some private JT again. And I'm going to let you all try to figure out for yourself what JT means. Because I already brought up the film Kids. So, and already the upload I did today of Witchblade on the coffee sleeve, the thumbnail was removed twice. Yes, I'm now on my third thumbnail for my Witchblade time-lapse drawing today. Yeah, that's maybe another Monday caricature slingshot video I could do is one where it's just the concept of censorship and just launch that one. It was amen about the fashion industry, says Third Man Out. He also says a lot of things that go into making a sort of attractive looking characters. And today she just bought the Keurig, Mildred says. Mildred just got the Keurig, that special coffee roast that the fat pussy himself, James Corden, is the spokesman for. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know about the product itself. I actually you'll have to tell me about that later on, what the Keurig is like, if it's worth the money, if the product itself functions. It's get out of what's Elon Musk's business advice about, get out of the boardroom or get out of the conference room and focus on the production and distribution of your product. Let's see what the quality of the product is. And for your case, since it's your money, let's all hope that Mildred's Keurig works as well or better than advertised. Like, you see me here, what I'm drawing, this is all my product. This is my commodity that I am a businessman, are always out there trying to produce and trying to make better and trying to get people to want to purchase. It is an every day, it is a pride swallowing siege. Every morning I get up out there for my business. My business is literally myself. I'm out here. This is the business of me. This is the preaching the gospel of me, of getting you, ladies and gentlemen, out there to view what it is I'm making and to, of course, buy what it is I'm making. Those are what's paramount to view, because then we get this channel growing at the level that I wanted to. Not only will there be me selling the artwork that you all out there want to buy, but you simply viewing me making the artwork will then become a profiteering venture in and of itself, with a monetized channel, or with doing these streams where then I get to that subscription count, where then we'll get to super chats, and having those super chats there, then that'll especially come towards what it is I'm going to be doing during these streams and what it is I'm going to be saying during these streams. And on top of all of that, then that's when we'll get into the real, the real broad strokes of getting my actual comics made and distributed, and also getting it fulfilled out there to you. And I'm wondering whether or not I should go with either fulfilling the products of shipping out the comics to the backers myself, or if there's one of those fulfillment companies that do all the fulfilling your crowdfunded comics campaigns for you, if that would be a good investment. I saw the PDF that John Malin's been he produced on his Twitter. For those out there who want to do crowdfunding and don't have the resources and the time to go and do all of the fulfilling of your product to your backers yourself, here you go. And how many of you would want to see me do a Stone Cold Stunner on some Ohio State merchandise and then slam a couple like sodas or bottles of water like it was Stone Cold with his Budweiser? How many of you would want to see me do a Stone Cold Stunner on like an Ohio State plush? I'd like to know. I'm pretty sure everyone out there in the land of Austin 316 wants to know too. There's LOL, yes. And Relentless says she donates to 5 YouTube channels every month because Relentless supports local business. And I know that Nick is an athletic supporter, says Mildred. And Nick simply says yes. And yes, do it, Luke, says Relentless. Relentless wants to see me do the Stone Cold Stunner. And Christopher says, I own 12 supporters. They highlight my best assets. Well, okay. Nick, no, it's Relentless who says, yes, do a Stone Cold Stunner on a plush toy for Ohio State. If I had the driver's license and the access to it, I'd also would go and get some Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer and Woody Hayes impersonators to gather together and drive a Coors Light truck up to them and then turn the beer hose on them, like Stone Cold with Shane and Vince McMahon and The Rock at I think it was Madison Square Garden back in '99. With the Austin 316 hat, which I owned. I once owned an Austin 316 hat. One of those 2 tapings of Monday Night Raw that my dad took me to. He bought me a Kane mask at one and an Austin 316 hat in the other. And somebody that was there with us, I think it was my sister, took a photo of me in my chair. And when Austin showed up, I got up on my chair and I was flipping off the crowd. When he got up onto the turnbuckle and he was flipping off the audience, and you could see my dad's hand trying to grab me and yank me back down into my chair. And look, we've got our 3rd fabulous feline in the stream right now, Miss Vicky T. Meow. Vicky, I'd like to inform you that come Saturday morning, I shipped out your color drawing and your illustration out to you. So it should be there immediately. If not tomorrow, then it should have been there already. And Nick brought up, yes, I have now an Austin 316 shirt that Nick sent me. Too bad, yeah, it's a large, so I would have to be tucking it in. I'd actually would have to wear it like Stone Cold, where Austin wore his Austin 316 shirt tucked into his jeans or his jean shorts. He didn't just wear it, willy-nilly hanging around. I'd have to tuck it in since it's a large and I wear a men's small. Then yeah. There were 2 pictures taken that night. One was of me up in my chair with my Austin hat on, and my dad's girlfriend at the time on my birthday bought me a Stone Cold Steve Austin Rattlesnake Champion belt. So I came into the arena, into the MCI Center with the belt that my dad's girlfriend had bought me, and then there at the arena, my dad bought me the Austin 316 hat. So I was wearing those while sitting up in my chair, flipping off the crowd, and there was my dad's hand in the picture trying to yank me back down into my seat. And the other one was I got up in my chair and was screaming along with the crowd when Stephanie McMahon showed up, and the crowd was screaming, "She's a crack whore. She's a crack whore. She's a crack whore." I wonder if anyone have anything to say about that when she goes on about the women's revolution in wrestling. Really, lady? Because you were perfectly fine with getting the crowd to pop and sing that. Or when you were, implying that you were going to do sex favors to Scott Steiner to get him to sign with, I think, what was it, SmackDown? She was in charge of SmackDown. Eric Bischoff was in charge of Raw. And when Scott Steiner came over to WWE, she was promising a signing bonus to Scott Steiner, alluding to she was going to go between the sheets and become one of the big bad booty daddy's freaks. No wonder now at conventions and when he does like interviews on podcasts, Scott Steiner now asks the audience there of who do you think's the bigger cunt, Triple H or Stephanie McMahon? I want to know. It was that. And that's why they offered him a legacy contract with WWE a few years ago, and he refused it because his lawyer looked through it and said that this contract isn't worth the paper it's printed on. So it's a nightmare. Don't do it, Scott. You see there, those little bastards. They're going to try to screw me out of my money again. They're going to try to go in there and think that they can fool me, the genetic freak, the one who comes from a highly educated university. And remember, these little bastards are up there in Connecticut. They're up there in New York, the little Titan Tower up there in Stamford, Connecticut. They're not in the South. I don't got to dumb myself down like I got to do when I was there in Atlanta with WCW, where I was there in Orlando with TNA. They know I come from a highly educated university, so they know that I'm not going to dumb myself down to deal with them. So they know that they're trying to screw me, and they know that I cannot be screwed with. And they know I'll take my chainmail off my head and I'll smack them up in their fat little asses for it, and then lock them in a Steiner recliner, and they're going to know what it's like to be made to scream when you're on the service end of a deal with the genetic freak. Holler if you hear me. I wish I had a siren to then immediately trigger when doing that. Holler if you hear me. I've got the chainmail hat on my wish list there, so I've got a birthday coming up in February, so keep the chainmail there. I'll keep the chainmail up there. Maybe I'll start wearing it. Maybe one of the videos I'll do the Ohio State plush toy, and I'll practice the Steiner recliner on it with the chainmail headdress on. I've got the Austin 316 shirt, so I'm partially ready for doing a Stone Cold Stunner demonstration. What day in February, asks Vicky T. My birthday's up in February the 19th. Sounds like a... Don't forget Shaq Fu, says Third Man Out. Yes. We got the Shaq and the Shaq Fu. Shaq, oh, he's the greatest in the universe, sirs. I would like to be known as the Big Aristotle. Yes. I want another championship so bad, it burns me. So I cooled off with icy hot. Yes, that's going to be... You know what I am? I'm Mike Tyson. I'm with Shawn Michaels. You know what, Shawn Michaels? If you want minute, you see that Stone Cold? You see that Stone Cold? Yeah, there, you whooped Shawn Michaels' ass there at WrestleMania 14. You did it there. You whooped his ass. You beat him there. Can you help me? You helped me. You helped me when I was crying. We were together. You missed me. I missed you. But what's going on there with the Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin? I thought you loved me. I helped you win. I helped you win there. You didn't go do anything for me. Why you gotta be that way? You said you loved me, baby. Who loves you, baby? Who loves Austin 316? Mike Tyson loves Austin 316. I love you with all my heart, Steve Austin. And with that, we have ourselves a finished Sheena. Whether or not Miss Tanya Roberts, Sheena of the 80s, is really dead or not, I'm still not sure, so I'll be looking that up later. But until then, I'd like to thank all of you out there for watching. If you're a new viewer, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if anybody would like to buy this before it's posted for sale online, follow the first link in the description below. And all you got to do, if you live in the United States, is donate $30 to my store. I'll mail this out to you to give as a gift or to put up on your wall. If you live outside the U.S., then donate $50 and I'll mail this out to you to have up on your wall. You can commission me for pen and ink illustrations at $50 a piece in my online store. Commissions are the last item for sale in the pen and ink illustrations categories I have. Pen and ink illustrations are $25 a piece plus shipping and handling. Besides that, you can also buy color drawings for sale at $20 a piece plus shipping. They look like this. This one, a custom donation of $30 will get you this before it's posted online, or a custom donation of $60 will get you both this and this. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. And you can help the channel with a purchase from my Amazon wish list, the fourth and final link below in the description. Besides all that, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, I will be live again and what I will be drawing depends on whether or not Tanya Roberts will still be alive. I don't know. I'll keep a eye out for there. Maybe I'll do some Charlie's Angels. Maybe I'll do her character from the Beastmaster, or maybe someone else. Thank you, and see you, Space Cowboy.